12:18 a.m. driving home. Just had an 8-hour work shift. Had school before that. Woke up at 8 a.m. Just kind of been going since then. Kind of just wanted to talk about shit that's been on my mind as of late. One of the things that's been super helpful for me is an introduction to various meditation practices, particularly the one that's done a lot for me has been Vipassana practice, I believe it's called. It's taught me, I think there's a few big takeaways I've had from that practice. But I was having a fun little conversation with ChatGPT, of course. And I find a lot of times after having a fun conversation with ChatGPT, it can help me kind of organize my thoughts a little bit more so that they're succinct and I can kind of like really take a bite out of something. A lot of times when I feel like I'm thinking of stuff, it's kind of abstract, and so like it's not just it's almost like in order to like understand it, I have to like understand certain prerequisites, which just means that like stuff gets confusing. And so by being able to organize my thoughts like that, it makes the concept a lot more presentable. Now that I'm kind of talking out of my ass here, what am I actually talking about? Surrendering. I want to get better at surrendering, and how I see that kind of coming to fruition, you know, playing itself out in reality for myself, is in stuff like these days when I'm going and I don't really even have like very much time to myself beyond the break that I take to eat lunch at work, or the 15 minutes I get after changing clothes to come home between the school day and stuff. And for a long time I thought that was just like not a life I wanted to live, and that like any level of doing stuff at a pace that restricts my freedom was the opposite of what I wanted. And through doing meditation practice, the Vipassana practice is just like an awareness practice where you just sit there and you observe. I've familiarized myself a lot with just sitting there and observing feelings of discomfort. And like I said in the past, for an example, where a day like this that was very long and kind of exhausting, and like typically I would be very dissatisfied heading home at 12:21 a.m. and just upset with the way things played out and whatnot, and that I didn't have time to play video games or do whatever I would have rather enjoyed my time doing. Now, after being able to kind of sit with and observe that feeling of discomfort that might arise throughout your day, the grand thing I'm trying to get to here is like being okay with discomfort is a huge unlock. Like, really is. It being okay with discomfort just kind of proves to, at least for my experience of it, it proves to myself that good question. What does it prove to myself? This is what I'm kind of thoughts out into a realm where they can be heard and explored mutually with anyone who has interest in exploring them. Very self-conscious about, I'm not going to sound like a dumbass ranting about BS, philosophical, if you can even call it that, stuff. Probably. I kind of view myself as that, but it's still fun. This is the stuff that, keeps me going and keeps me excited at 12:26 a.m. on a Thursday. So with that, I'm kind of surrendering here to the urge of, even though I have zero clue what the fuck I'm doing or what I'm talking about or how this is going to go, how it's going to be perceived. I'm surrendering to the urge that I've always wanted to kind of create content and be able to refine it. So even though this is early stage content, hopefully I can find myself semi-consistent and improve from there. So until then, you get this Sam Sulik wannabe car talk video, and I'm excited to give in a bit more to my urges to create content to some greater extent. I really just want to do a lot of like vlog content, for lack of a better term. I'm going through a lot of different stuff in life as of late, which is different journeys, and I kind of want to document those processes and be able to look back on them, be able to share with whoever wants to see it, and come along for the ride. I'm officially an aerospace engineering student, which sounds weird for me to say to myself, but it's exciting. I'd love nothing more than to document that process. The long hours, I've had a few moments where I've laughed to myself, finding like, oh, okay, this is the first of many long nights busting my ass trying to get a homework assignment in that I didn't realize was due until 12 hours ago, and all the lovely experiences that come with that. And so I'm very excited to find an outlet with which to kind of share that experience and hopefully be able to look back on it one day. So now that we've rambled for 10 minutes and I'm headed on home to go sleep so I can wake my ass up and go back to work here.